Discover the incredible journey of letting go, 10 heartwarming steps to life-changing success. Anna stood behind the counter of Tilly's diner, flipping pancakes to the rhythm of sizzling butter and the familiar chime of the door. The comforting scent of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the sweet aroma of maple syrup, momentarily lifting the weight that hung over her heart. This place, once a bustling hub of laughter and warmth, now echoed with whispers of change and uncertainty. With every plate she served to the regulars, farmers and lonely folk seeking solace, she felt the pulse of a town slowly slipping through her fingers. Then, the door swung open, and in strode Jamie, her childhood friend. A bright smile illuminated her face, and she carried with her an aura of success that Anna could only envy. Jamie, an entrepreneur with soaring ambitions, effortlessly radiated the confidence Anna so desperately lacked. It was a bittersweet reunion filled with nostalgia that stirred feelings of jealousy deep within her. Here was someone who chased the spark of the American dream while Anna felt trapped in a cycle of expectations that only grew heavier. As they exchanged brief pleasantries, Anna couldn't shake the feeling that the diner was both her refuge and her prison. The walls adorned with photos of happy families seemed to close in on her, accentuating her perceived failures. How had her life become a routine of serving plates rather than pursuing her own dreams? The laughter of their childhoods rang in her ears like a distant melody, now overshadowed by an aching sense of inadequacy. Suddenly, a tempest rolled into town. The sky darkened, and swirling winds howled like distant sirens. Rain poured down, slamming against the windows of the diner, forcing Anna and her family into a frenzy of preparations. They scurried to protect the legacy Tilly built, heavy shutters creaked under pressure, while anxious hearts raced. In that chaotic moment, unspoken tensions boiled over, revealing rifts among them as they fought to save not just a diner, but their family's heritage. Enough! Anna's voice pierced through the storm like lightning, commanding attention. She challenged the town's long-held beliefs, declaring that hard work and integrity mattered far more than superficial success. Her heart pounded as her words resonated against the diner walls, igniting a flicker of hope amid the storm's despair. The energy shifted, and she felt the weight of doubt begin to lift, if only momentarily. Yet, the storm outside mirrored the unresolved issues within her family, leaving Anna teetering on the edge of a transformation she wasn't sure she was ready for. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the rain lashed against the windows, Anna took a step forward, embracing the leadership compulsion that blossomed inside her. Community members began rallying around her, spurred on by her call for resilience and hard work. She envisioned initiatives that brought people together, fostering the spirit of the diner, the warmth of belonging overruling the chill of insecurity. But even as she ventured into uncharted territory, shadows of her past loomed large. Would she find the courage to redefine what success meant for her amidst the echoes of her family's legacy? The storm loomed, and so did her doubts, leaving Anna on the brink of a journey that promised transformation or despair. The tempest raged outside, but inside Tilly's diner, a fragile sense of hope began to take root. Anna felt the stirrings of something new within her, as if the storm had cracked the shell of her complacency. The regulars, once mere silhouettes in her day-to-day routine, were now vibrant souls willing to embrace change alongside her. "Let's start a community meal tomorrow," she announced, surprising even herself with the resolve in her voice. "We'll make it free for everyone who needs a warm meal and a little company." A murmur of agreement rippled through the diner. Old Mr. Jacobs, sitting at his usual corner table, nodded vigorously. "That's a mighty fine idea, Anna. We used to do that back when times were tough. Bring folks together." She felt a thrill at the thought, the kind that sent electric shivers down her spine. Yes, they were a community. Not just individuals bound to their routines but a family woven together by shared laughter and burdens. As they began planning that evening, the diner's atmosphere shifted, replacing the tension with contagious excitement. Anna watched as Jamie stepped in, ready to help. "You're onto something, Anna." "I see it," she said, her eyes glinting with admiration. "Let us spread the word. This town is more than just a place, it's about the people." Anna smiled, her heart warming at Jamie's support. But somewhere beneath that warmth, unease churned. Jamie had made it big. What if this venture failed? What if, despite their best efforts, the diner's legacy faded away? That night, Anna lay awake, the sound of raindrops drumming against the roof echoing her uncertainties. In the quiet dark, dreams of a different life flickered in her mind, a life filled not just with serving meals but with inspiring change. Her hand brushed against the scrapbook of childhood memories hidden beneath her bed. It was time to revisit those days and revisit the dreams that had felt so unattainable. The next day, the storm clouds began to part, allowing streaks of sunlight to filter through the diner windows. With the community meal drawing near, Anna felt a wave of encouragement wash over her, as neighbors helped prepare dishes. The vibrant colors of the food, greens, reds, yellows, seemed to mirror the life returning to Tilly's diner. As dusk approached, the diner doors flung open. One by one, townspeople streamed in, eyeing the long table laden with food. The laughter and chatter grew louder, and for a moment, it felt like old times. Anna mingled among the guests, her heart swelling with pride. She could see it, the spark of community she had longed for. But as she returned to the counter, she caught a glimpse of her father watching from the back, an expression of mixed emotions on his face. Concern? Disappointment? Or was it something else entirely? The flame of her resolve flickered at the sight, sending a pang of doubt deep within her chest. "Dad," she started, but he turned away before she could finish. Suddenly, the air felt electric, thick with uncertainties once more. Would this evening be enough to reshape their family story? What would it take to bridge the distance that had grown so wide between them? As voices filled the diner and laughter echoed off the walls, Anna stood at the crossroads of her past and future. Would she manage to break free from the shadows that had long held her? The very thought sent her pulse racing. But amidst the joy of the moment, one question haunted her mind: what if tonight leads to uncovering deeper truths about her family and herself? Just how far would she have to go to finally let go of old fears? The evening deepened, and the diner's energy crackled like the shimmers of sunlight filtering through the remnants of the storm. Anna filled plates, her hands moving unconsciously, but her thoughts remained heavy, weighed down by the haunting gaze of her father still fresh in her mind. As laughter echoed, mingling with the clinking of forks and spoons, Anna couldn't shake the feeling that something crucial was hanging in the balance. She watched families gather, eyes lighting up at familiar faces, stories intertwining like the steam rising from the freshly baked bread. Yet, at the edge of it all, her father remained an island, distant and unapproachable. "Anna! Come join us!" Jamie called from a nearby table, waving her over. She flashed a smile, grateful for Jamie's warmth, but her heart was in two places. The camaraderie and laughter here felt like a light, but the shadow of her father's disapproval loomed, extinguishing much of that warmth. "Just a minute," she replied, and for a moment, she stood still, feeling trapped between two worlds. The recognition that the diner needed her sparked clarity but made her realize the heavy baggage of her family ties remained unresolved. Taking a deep breath, Anna decided to address the ghost that haunted her. With a firm grip on the counter, she walked toward her father, her heartbeat quickening. Each step felt like a leap over a vast chasm. "Dad?" she said softly, her voice barely rising above the joyful din. He turned, his expression unreadable. "Can we talk?" He hesitated but finally nodded. They moved to a quieter corner, where the sound of laughter was softer, but the warmth of community still vibrated around them. "What is it?" he asked, his eyes avoiding hers. Anna felt an ache in her chest. How could they repair what was broken if he wouldn't let her in? I wanted you to see what we're doing here tonight, she began, her voice steadying. It's not just about food. It's about bringing everyone together, about hope. Her father studied her, and she saw the flicker of something in his gaze, like a candle almost extinguished but still fighting to burn. I just don't understand why you think this is enough, he replied, the words heavy with years of unspoken disappointment. Because it's a start, Dad. Anna trembled as she spoke, feeling the weight of his expectations coiled around her. This isn't just about the diner. It's about us. About our family. He squinted slightly, and for the first time, she could see a trace of vulnerability in his posture. How can you think you can change things? This place, it's just a diner. But it's our diner. Anna retorted, her voice rising. If we don't use it to connect, if we don't save it, it could just fade away. Just like us. Silence stretched between them like a taut string. Her heart raced, she could sense a shift, yet doubt still tangled her thoughts. Would he bridge that gap? Or was the chasm too wide to cross? Then, unexpectedly, she heard the unmistakable sound of her father's chuckle, a rarity that sent a shockwave through her. His eyes softened as he replied, maybe you're right, Anna. Maybe there's more than just meals here. As Anna's heart soared, she knew this moment held the potential to unravel long-held barriers. But still, the specter of fear lingered. Sure enough, laughter erupted again from the main space, but this time, it felt different as it beckoned her back to the warmth of community. She glanced to her father, clutching hope tightly in her chest. What if we try to make it more? Together? With that, Anna wondered if they could mend not just the diner but the broken threads of their family tapestry, too. Could they unlock doors that had long been shut? As tension danced in the air, Anna's heart whispered one fresh idea: what if they worked together on a plan to bring everyone closer, to heal not just her heart but her father's, too? Looking into her father's tentative eyes, Anna knew this was only the beginning. What else would they uncover on this uncharted journey together? The hum of the diner wrapped around them, a comforting embrace threaded with the urgency of possibility. Anna could sense the weight of her father's presence beside her, both familiar and foreign, like a melody she once loved but couldn't quite remember. Taking a deep breath, she leaned in closer. Dad, what if we could host community nights? She suggested, the idea bubbling up like warm soda fizzing in a glass. Cooking classes, maybe even family trivia nights. We could invite everyone to share their stories. His gaze shifted to her, curiosity flickering in his eyes. People want to share stories. Yes. We're not just feeding people. We're creating memories, moments of connection. When was the last time we did something like that together? Anna pressed, urgency layering her words like rich gravy poured over mashed potatoes. Her father turned slightly, fingers tapping lightly against the table, contemplating. The effort of engaging felt heavy for him, but Anna saw it as a crack, a glimpse into a door he had kept shut for years. It sparked something. Was it hope? Maybe, he started, but his voice hesitated at the precipice of change. Maybe. She echoed, excitement fluttering in her chest. What if we try it this Friday? We could call it family table night. Just picture it, the diner filled with laughter, music, food. We could even have a dish of the week from different families. From different families? He asked, his brow arching. Yes. Anna exclaimed, pointing toward the crowd. Everyone here has stories, traditions. Look at Mrs. Robinson there, she has the best apple pie recipe. We could showcase her pie one week, then do tacos the next. Each dish could have a story behind it. His eyes narrowed, as if he were processing a piece of logic that felt just beyond reach. And you think people will come? I know they will. They want to be together, just like we do, she replied, her heart racing with each breath. We could even start small, invite a few neighbors who come here often. Build it up from there. He considered her proposal, chewing on the edges of hesitation. The chatter and laughter continued to swirl around them in the diner, establishing a chaotic but inviting atmosphere. Anna felt her pulse quicken with both the thrill of the idea and the fear of rejection. Would he take the leap? The truth is, I've always wanted to be part of something bigger than just running this diner, he finally admitted, glancing at Anna, his voice softened by an unexpected vulnerability. Her heart swelled at his admission. Then this is our chance, Dad. Let us create something that means more for all of us. The corners of his lips curled slightly, almost a smile, fragile yet luminous. All right, he said finally, drawing in a long breath. Let us give it a try. Relief washed over Anna, a wave of warmth flooding her veins. She clutched her father's arm tight, sensing that this decision, however small it seemed, might spark something extraordinary. Let us plan tonight, right now. She urged, excitement not just for the night to come but for the possibility of healing their fragile bond. As they moved to a corner table, gathering napkins and scraps of paper to map out their plan, laughter rang out louder than ever from the diner. Each chuckle seemed to echo their budding hope. That night, they crafted a plan filled with fragrant spices and vibrant dreams, weaving families and stories into a tapestry of togetherness. But as they began to settle into a rhythm, a voice from the crowd suddenly rang out, a cry tinged with distress. Heads turned, tension bubbling back into the space like steam from the kitchen. Anna's heart sank as she recognized it. What is happening? She whispered to her father, the fresh sense of harmony feeling fragile in the moment's shadow. Before they could react, Anna's eyes darted toward the door, where a familiar figure stood pale and trembling, holding a piece of paper that seemed to shake in their grasp. What now? Anna wondered, dread creeping back into her heart as she turned her face back towards her father. Would this threaten the fragile connection they had just begun to forge? The evening's potential renewal hung in the balance, and Anna felt the weight of community ready to either collapse or soar. What did that piece of paper hold, and how would it change everything? The diner fell into an almost deafening silence, broken only by the clinks of cutlery as every eye turned to the door. The tension was palpable, a thick fog wrapping around Anna and her father. It felt like the world had paused, holding its breath in anticipation. The figure standing there was Miss Carter, an elderly woman who had been a regular at their diner for years. Her frail hands shook as she clutched the faded piece of paper, her eyes wide and glistening with unshed tears. Miss Carter? Anna called, pushing her chair back with a sudden urgency. Is everything okay? No. Miss Carter's voice quivered, a thin whisper that seemed to tremble on the edge of breaking. She stepped forward, the paper fluttering as she moved. It's my husband, he's not well. I just received this. Anna's heart dropped. The pull of uncertainty wrapped around her, urging her to step closer. What happened? A heart attack, she replied, words spilling like marbles rolling out of a bag. They say he needs immediate surgery. I don't know what I'm going to do. Miss Carter's anguish echoed through the diner, piercing the prior excitement like a knife. Anna glanced at her father, his expression morphing from surprise to concern. That fragile smile from moments ago faded into worry. It was the same expression Anna recognized from their past, the kind that spoke of helplessness against life's overwhelming tides. I'll go with you, Anna said, her resolve taking form. You shouldn't have to face this alone. Miss Carter shook her head, panic creeping into her voice. But I can't burden you, dear. You have your plans, this is more important. Family table night can wait, Anna replied, her voice firm and steady though her heart raced. The importance of connection rang louder now, saturating the air with urgency. But, her father began, but Anna caught a glimpse of his eyes, the understanding sparking anew. He knew that the weight of community lay not just in stirring excitement but also in facing grim realities together. Dad, can we help her? Anna asked, her eyes pleading. Please. He nodded slowly, the heaviness lifting just enough to reveal the resilience he had forgotten existed. Let us go, Miss Carter. We'll drive you to the hospital. A moment later, they were out the door, stepping into the night where the stars shimmered above, indifferent to the chaos below. Anna guided Ms. Carter's shaking hands onto her arm, a solid rock amidst the tempest of worry. As they moved toward the parking lot, the chatter and laughter from the diner drifted away, leaving a void filled only with the mingling sounds of their breaths and the rustling of fallen leaves. It was a stark contrast to the warmth they had just begun to cultivate. "Thank you," Miss Carter murmured, a hint of gratitude seeping through her fear. "But I don't know how I'm going to pay for the hospital." "Don't worry about that," Anna replied, squeezing her arm gently. "We'll figure it out together. You're not alone in this." The weight of those words hung heavily in the air. It felt magnificent to offer comfort, to share pain. Yet, Anna couldn't shake the feeling that this one moment might change everything, not just for Miss Carter, but for her and her father as well. As they arrived at the car, Anna turned back, catching a fleeting glimpse of the diner's neon sign flickering in the twilight like a lighthouse calling them back home. But she felt firmly rooted in the present, where the bonds of compassion took precedence over any plans. What would tomorrow hold now, when everything felt so uncertain? And would they still attempt to build something beautiful from this night's unexpected shift? As they drove away, Anna held on to that flicker of hope while glancing toward her father's furrowed brow. She hadn't given up on the idea of the community night, but the path to get there had just turned into a wilder journey. What lay ahead both for Anna and for the community they sought to uplift remained a mystery, a blend of fear and opportunity waiting to unfold. The car hummed softly as they drove through the night, the streetlights blurring into streaks of light against the dark. Ms. Carter sat in the back seat, her frail body slumping against the leather, her eyes lost in thought. Anna glanced at her father, whose fingers tightened around the steering wheel. The weight of Ms. Carter's crisis wrapped around them, eclipsing their previous hopes for a new beginning. "Is your husband at City Hospital?" Anna asked, her voice breaking the silence. "Yes," Ms. Carter replied, voice barely a whisper. "He's been having issues for years." "I thought we had more time." Anna felt the swell of emotion rise within her, a mixture of sorrow and a fierce desire to help. "We'll be there soon." "Just hang in there," she assured. Her father nodded, any misgivings he might have harbored washed away in the gravity of the situation. He started to speak, but his words melted into the silence, revealing more than they could articulate. The hospital loomed ahead, its bright light stark against the dark skies. As they parked, Anna's heart pounded in her chest. This was a pivotal moment not just for Ms. Carter, but for all of them. "Come on, we'll go together," Anna said, sensing Ms. Carter's trepidation as she hesitated by the door. "Thank you. It's hard," Ms. Carter admitted, her voice trembling. The truth lay bare, the fear of loss was overwhelming, something that everyone at that diner had brushed against, yet now it felt too close. With their arms linked, Anna and her father flanked Ms. Carter as they moved into the hospital. The sterile smell hit her first, a sharp reminder of all things uncertain. Clean white walls, blinking lights, and the endless echo of distant voices deepened the anxious pit in Anna's stomach. At the reception desk, Ms. Carter's eyes filled with dread as she began to stammer through her husband's details to the nurse. Anna could see that every second felt like an avalanche of anxiety. She moved a step closer, resting a hand lightly on Ms. Carter's back. "I'm here," she whispered softly, providing a small anchor in the torrent of fears swirling around them. They were directed to the waiting area, filled with the faint hum of anxious conversations and beeping machines. It felt surreal, like being on a movie set where everything was represented but the emotions were palpable and real. Time wove in and out, minutes stretched into what felt like hours. Anna squeezed Ms. Carter's hand every now and then, sharing quiet nods of reassurance. Her father paced slightly, glancing at the clock, concern etched across his brow. Finally, a doctor emerged, his face serious but not devoid of compassion. "Ms. Carter?" he called out. Anna held her breath. She could feel the air thicken between them as Ms. Carter stood, her eyes wide with hope and terror. The doctor spoke, words that would either carve a path toward hope or deepen despair. As Anna watched Ms. Carter's face shift with every revelation, she couldn't help but reflect on how quickly life could change. It hit her hard, irrevocable truth about love and loss. "You'll get through this," Anna said, almost to herself as she squeezed Ms. Carter's hand tightly. "No matter what happens, you're not alone." In that moment, the weight of community rose anew within her, illuminating something she hadn't quite seen before, a profound connection that didn't just lie in joy but thrived amid shared fears. As the doctor continued, Anna caught her father's anxious glances toward her. She detected a flicker of understanding passing between them, a silent promise that somehow, they would find their way back to light. What if the path of despair could lead to something greater? What if this night, filled with heavy fears, would shape their community in unexpected ways? As Ms. Carter faced the doctor, Anna felt an unyielding resolve begin to form within her. Together, they would face whatever came next. But the most pressing question lingered: how far would this moment draw them into the heart of their shared community? The room was quiet when Ms. Carter returned, her face a blend of relief and sorrow. The doctor had delivered news that, while better than what she had dreaded, still carried shadows of uncertainty. Anna stood as Ms. Carter approached, and her heart ached at the sight of the woman's trembling hands. "He's stable for now," Ms. Carter relayed, her voice shaking like the leaves in a chilly breeze. "But he'll need more treatments, more time in the hospital." Anna nodded, feeling a blend of hope and unease stuck in her chest. "That's good. We're here for you," she said, the words almost a mantra now. She reached out, wrapping her arms around Ms. Carter in a gentle embrace. Tears glistened in Ms. Carter's eyes as she leaned into Anna's shoulder, allowing herself a moment of vulnerability, a moment she had held back for too long. It struck Anna how the act of leaning in that simple gesture was sometimes the strongest support one could provide. Her father stood nearby, watching the exchange with a protective warmth. "Let us get you some water, Miss Carter," he suggested, his voice low and soothing. He led her to a vending machine, the fluorescent lights reflecting off the plastic as coins clinked and dropped. Anna stayed behind, absorbing the chatter that hummed around her. The waiting room wasn't just a temporary holding space, it was a tapestry of stories stitched together by fear, hope, and love. She watched families navigate conversations laced with uncertainty, hugged tighter, exchanged knowing glances. A little girl sat across the room, clutching a stuffed bunny and a brightly colored drawing. The girl's mother leaned down, whispering words that wrapped around them like a soft embrace. Anna could hear a few phrases and sentences: "You're really brave, Daddy will be okay soon," each one resonating with a universal truth: love perseveres. As Ms. Carter returned, Anna felt an urge to speak again, to share the remarkable force of what it meant to be together at such a critical moment. "You know, this place, it's filled with people who understand," Anna said, glancing around the bustling room. "No one is alone in their fear or pain. We're all connected in some way." Ms. Carter nodded slowly, her expression thoughtful. "It's strange," she replied, her voice now steadier. "I've spent years donning a brave face, but tonight showed me the power of being vulnerable. You're right. I'm scared, but I'm not alone. I see that now." Anna felt a flicker of warmth spread through her, igniting a spark of understanding. This wasn't just about Ms. Carter or her husband, they were carving a path of resilience for the community around them. In those shared fears lay the potential for growth and healing. Her father returned with a bottle of water, handing it to Ms. Carter with a gentle smile. "Together, we can handle anything," he said, a reassurance that enveloped them all. Just then, a nurse called Ms. Carter's name, breaking the moment of quiet reflection. As she gathered herself to rise, Anna held her hand one last time, squeezing it tightly. There was a power in knowing they were stepping into the unknown together. What if this is the moment that changes everything? Anna thought as she watched Ms. Carter follow the nurse down the hallway. She felt a determination to deepen the bonds that were forming, not only for Ms. Carter but for everyone who walked through those sliding glass doors. As they settled back into their seats, her father turned to her, the concern clear in his eyes. "What will we do now?" Anna smiled, an idea brewing in her mind. "What if we organize something for the families here? A way to bring everyone together, to share stories, to support one another?" As her father considered her words, Anna's heart raced at the prospect of what lay ahead. A new journey began quietly stirring, filled with the promise of connection and resilience. Would they have the strength to follow through? The possibilities felt endless, but the first steps needed to be taken now. What if this small idea could transform the hospital experience for so many? What if the journey of letting go could lead to a stronger community ahead? The minutes ticked away in the waiting room, each second stretching into an eternity. Anna's thoughts whirled as she considered the idea of bringing families together. She watched her father, deep in thought, furrowing his brow as he weighed her suggestion. It could be something really special, he finally said, looking up at her with a glimmer of hope. But it'll take work. Are you ready for that? Absolutely, Anna replied, her voice steady. Energy bubbled within her, fueled by the compassion she had witnessed. We can create a space for everyone. It'll help them feel less alone. As they brainstormed, the room became a sanctuary of inspiration. They envisioned comfy corners for families to sit and share stories, tables filled with crafts for children to create, and walls adorned with art showing the kids' imaginations. A family art wall, Anna said excitedly, where everyone can contribute something. Her father nodded, appreciating her enthusiasm. And maybe inviting local support groups or therapists to join. They could provide resources. We can organize a small gathering where families can connect over coffee and snacks. Yes. Anna beamed. It has to feel warm and welcoming. As they continued to plan, families came and went. The little girl with the stuffed bunny was now playing with another child, the two giggling while their mothers chatted nearby. Anna felt a growing sense of purpose, sparked by the moments of connection she observed all around her. But then, like a storm cloud passing overhead, doubt crept into her thoughts. What if no one comes? What if it doesn't help? She hesitated, feeling fear curl in her stomach like a tight knot. Hey, her father said gently, noticing her shift. You won't know until you try. He pointed across the waiting room. Look at that mother with her son she's holding his hand, and that small act is powerful. Anna's gaze followed his, landing on a woman who seemed to carry the weight of the world. She sat on the edge of her chair, watching the nurses bustle by with a look of longing, her fingers tapping nervously on her knee. That mother was afraid, just like Ms. Carter, and just like so many others. What if we were there for her? Anna murmured, a new idea igniting within her. Her father smiled knowingly. I think you're on to something. Remember, outreach has to start somewhere. As they made their way home that evening, the faint glow of streetlights illuminating their path, Anna couldn't shake the feeling of urgency in her chest. She needed to start planning, to reach out to local community centers and hospitals. Let's do this tomorrow, Dad. I want to hit the ground running, she said, determination radiating from her as she envisioned the faces of families finding solace in one another. The following morning, she made a list, jotting down contacts and ideas, her heart pounding with anticipation and excitement. The world around her felt crisp and alive, every sight igniting her sense of purpose. But just as Anna was about to call the first number on her list, her phone buzzed violently beside her. A text from an unknown number flickered on the screen. It read simply, I know what you're planning. You have no idea who you're messing with. Cold dread washed over her. Who could that be? Just as quickly as it appeared, her excitement faltered, replaced by a bubbling anxiety. What if this was the moment that tested her resolve? Anna's heart raced as she stared at the text. The excitement of planning her outreach slipped away, replaced by a cold wave of fear. How did someone know what she was planning? Maybe this was just a prank, but the anxiety gnawed at her. She took a deep breath, hitting the button to read the message again, hoping for a revelation that wasn't there. The kitchen clock ticked loudly in the background, a persistent reminder that time was marching on, even as her thoughts spiraled. Anna's phone buzzed again, making her jump. It was another message, this time from the same unknown number. Don't ignore me. You're treading on dangerous ground. With a shaky hand, she disabled notifications and set the phone down, trying to dismiss the unknown threat. Focus, she told herself. The future of many families depended on her resolve. She walked over to the window, the morning sun streaming in, illuminating her ambitions. She needed to push forward, despite the gnawing doubt in her gut. Just then, her father walked in, sensing the shift in her mood. "Everything okay?" he asked, concern etched across his face. Anna hesitated, unsure whether to share her fear. But she knew she needed support. "I got a text this morning. Someone knows about the project, and they seemed threatening." Her father's expression hardened, reflecting the protective instinct that arose. "It's probably just someone hoping to scare you off. But we can't let that stop us. We're doing something good here, Anna. We can't let fear dictate our actions." His words washed over her like the sun's light, warming her spirit. "You're right," she said, a spark of determination igniting within her. "We can't let this person stop what we want to accomplish. Let's make a plan," he suggested, eager to join her resolve. They spent the next hour turning the dining table into a war room, sketching out ideas and logistics, fervently pouring their energy into what would become a vibrant community initiative. Anna called local centers and spoke with a few warm voices who agreed to help. Each positive conversation reignited her passion, hope began swirling back in her heart. If they could pull this off, she believed they could transform lives, starting with that lonely mother in the waiting room. But as they worked, a singular thought crept back into her mind: why had that stranger reached out to her? What did they want? Her father must have sensed her dwindling focus because he paused mid-sentence, his brow furrowing again. "Hey, let's take a break. Grab a snack. Clear our heads before we dive back in." As they walked to the kitchen, Anna couldn't help but feel a tug of uncertainty, a whisper in her mind suggesting that this was just the beginning. She paused, her heart heavy again. "Dad," she began, glancing back at the mess of papers and plans sprawled across the table. "What if I'm in over my head? What if this person is serious?" Her father knelt beside her, his expression serious yet steady. "No one can take away your courage. You've already taken the first steps, and that's all that matters. But if it's a threat, we'll face it together." Just then, she felt her phone buzz again, clamoring for her attention. This time, she hesitated to check it. It could be another warning, or it could be a call for help, a chance to reach someone like that mother she had seen before. With her heart in her throat, she reached for the phone, uncertain of what lay behind the next message. Would it be a step forward or a step back? But the moment her thumb brushed the screen, a chill of realization fell over her. What if there's more to this than I'd imagined? The uncertainty lingered like a thick fog, leaving her breathless as she prepared to confront whatever awaited her. Anna stood at the threshold of Tilly's diner, the soft glow of the neon sign casting a warm light over her as she took a deep breath. The air was thick with anticipation, and her heart raced with the excitement of all that had transpired. They had come so far since the stormy night of revelation. Her father stood beside her, his expression a blend of pride and resolve. Together, they had transformed the idea of community nights from a fleeting thought into a vibrant reality. Families had flocked to the diner, each bringing their own stories, laughter, and comfort food to share. The walls echoed with the joy of reconnection, each moment preserved like snapshots in time. It was everything she had hoped for, but even as the evening light cast a golden hue, a shadow sat in the back of her mind. The text messages from the unknown number had stopped, but the unsettling feeling remained, a reminder that there were people out there who didn't want to see them succeed. As Anna welcomed guests pouring in, she caught sight of a familiar face. Ms. Carter entered, a soft smile illuminating her features despite the weight she carried. Anna rushed over, her heart singing with relief. "How's your husband?" she asked, brimming with hope. "He's coming home today," Ms. Carter replied, her voice steady with newfound strength. "I truly don't know how I would have managed without you all." Anna squeezed her hand, joy swelling in her chest. "You're a part of this community now, Ms. Carter. We're here for each other." The sound of laughter and chatter surrounded them, growing louder as families shared meals and stories. Anna's father caught her eye from across the room, and they exchanged a knowing smile. It was a moment that felt monumental, like a tapestry woven with threads of hope and connection, but then, the door swung open, and the atmosphere shifted. All heads turned to see Jamie standing there, her face pale and shadowed with an urgency Anna had never seen before. "We need to talk," she said, her voice quivering as she hurried toward them. "What is it?" Anna asked, concern gripping her. Jamie breathed heavily, glancing around as if checking to see who was listening. "It's about that number. I did some digging. It's not just an empty threat. They know about the community nights, Anna. They want to shut you down." A chill ran through the room, like the atmosphere before a storm. Anna's heart raced as she processed Jamie's words. But we're helping people." "They don't care," Jamie replied, her voice rising with a hint of panic. "They see it as a challenge to their control over the diner, over the town. They think you're stirring trouble." Panic rose in Anna's chest, but then she felt her father's hand on her shoulder, grounding her. "We can't let fear rule this," he said firmly. "We've built something beautiful here. We need to stand together." Anna looked around the diner, at the faces of those who had become like family. Each smile, each laugh was a reminder that they weren't alone. "No more hiding," she said, her voice steady despite the uncertainty. "We're not backing down." The murmurs of agreement spread like wildfire. Together, they were more than just individuals, they were a resilient community. The fear that once gripped Anna's heart began to melt away, replaced by a fierce determination. They would fight for their right to gather, to share, and to belong. With courage rising like a tide, Anna stepped forward to face Jamie. "Let us reach out to the townspeople. They deserve to know what's happening. We'll host a special night, share our mission, and make it clear that we're not going quietly," she declared. Jamie nodded slowly, inspired by Anna's resoluteness. "Yes. If the town stands with us, we can't be silenced. And we'll bring in local media," Anna's father chimed in. A show of solidarity. That night, they poured their hearts into planning. Excitement mingled with urgency as word spread throughout the diner. Soon, they would gather not just to celebrate but to rally against fear. When the spotlight shone brightly that evening, Anna stood at the center of Tilly's diner, her voice echoing around the room. "This is our home," she said, her heart soaring. "We are here for each other, and we will not let anyone break our spirit. We are a community, and together we are stronger." As applause erupted around her, Anna felt the energy shift. This was more than a diner or a simple meal, it was a heartbeat strong, vibrant, and united. In that moment, every uncertainty slipped away. The shadows that once loomed no longer had power. They were filled with an unwavering sense of purpose, ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. As they cheered and cried out in solidarity, Anna felt the urge to take it further. They would not just survive, they would thrive, together. They would change the narrative, showing that love and connection always triumph over hatred and fear. Anna took a deep breath, the scent of pancakes wafting through the air like sweet promise. They would face the future, come what may, as a united front, brave, bold, and unwavering. And as she looked into the glowing faces around her, she knew in her heart, this was just the beginning of a remarkable journey, a journey propelled by the power of community and the incredible strength of letting go. Now it's your turn to be part of this amazing journey. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that will inspire you. Leave a like now, every click helps fuel this incredible movement we're creating. Comment below with your thoughts and feelings about this ending. Your voices matter. And share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation now. Don't wait not even one more second. True fans like you know the importance of supporting our journey together.